to the Adventure of Pipeman on W4CY Radio.
Wake up, America! It's time for the Adventures of Pipeman on W4CY.com, West Pam Beach's #1 internet radio station. Here's your host, the Pipeman.
Everybody's so scared of what to say in today's world, but I'ma keep it real. I said it, I meant it, so fuck you if you're offended. No, I don't regret it, cause when I was a kid, my life was out of control. Picked on and bullied and left us out alone.
This is Pipeman here on the Adventures of Pipeman W4CY Radio, and I'm here with
Silly Goose, Jackson from Silly Goose. Thank you for having me.
Nice. I've been looking forward to this, okay, because it was so funny. I was covering Riot Fest because of Slayer. I come out to put my equipment in the car, and I hear something. I'm like, that sounds familiar. And it was you guys promoting a show you were going to have, what, at the train station or something?
This was the first year when you first found us?
No,
or?
I'm talking about at Riot Fest like a couple weeks ago.
Oh, yeah, we just saw each other like 2 weeks ago. Yeah, we were doing a show at the train station, still trying to spread the message.
How did that turn out? I want to hear about that because that was pretty cool.
That one was cool. That one was a little humbling. Sometimes the whole thing with the playing in the street is sometimes when it works out, it's amazing. Sometimes when it doesn't work out, you wind up playing in the mud and the rain and fucking up your equipment. That was one of those, but other than that, we've been having a great time.
Well, speaking of mud and rain, okay, then we were supposed to talk at Louder Than Life.
Right.
And we know what happened that day.
Yes,
you know?
then more mud and rain.
Exactly. But I heard, I don't know if it was true, but I heard that you did a show, like a pop-up type show afterwards, and it was pretty packed.
Dude, it was awesome. It was really cool. We had a feeling the whole day that the festival might get canceled, so we went ahead and contacted this venue in town, like just in case it got canceled. So then as soon as it did, we were able to announce that show. It was a great time. The room probably comfortably fit like 100 people. We had like 200 people in there, and there were 300 people outside the venue who got turned away. Not a common problem for us, but a problem I want to start having more. It was super cool. So yeah, we didn't get to play louder, and that was unfortunate, but it turned out to be a really cool night.
Yeah, all the Slayer fans found out this is the show we got to go to.
Yeah.
Silly Goose. And then on the way walking in here for me, I was joking to the person taking the pictures here, Nicole, because there were a bunch of geese we walked by.
Right.
I'm like, I'm interviewing them today.
Oh, yeah.
That's the band. And I was totally messing with her. That's the band Silly Goose. So maybe it was. Maybe. That's like your superhero.
Those are our behind-the-scenes members.
Yeah, the alter egos.
Yeah.
Right there. So let's talk about the new EP because it's pretty badass.
Thank you so much. Our new EP is called Bad Behavior. It came out like 3 or 4 weeks ago. The reception's been awesome, and I'm loving it, and I think the fans are loving it. And it's really cool getting to play these songs live because we were playing the same songs there for a minute, and it's really cool to have new music out that I think is doing much better than anything we've done. Yeah, the new EP is called Bad Behavior, and I want everybody to listen to it.
So how does it differ from music you've been playing before, in your opinion?
It's like similar to our album that we put out before this, but it's just on steroids. It's better riffs, better lyrics. My screams are better. The lyricism itself, I feel like I've improved. The production's better. There's more money behind the band. Just like everything you can think of, I'm way more proud of it. Not that I'm not proud of the other stuff. I think it was really cool for like a band in high school, like making a name for themselves. But this EP, I kind of want to say to the world, like, we're here. Like, I want y'all to hear this.
You got to grow and you got to evolve. If you're a musician, you're not going to want to be stuck as that garage band,
Right.
That's the starting point.
For sure.
And then you have to add on top of that, and that's what you're doing now.
Thank you.
And here you are in Aftershock. Like, how many years ago was it that you were playing in the parking lot of one of the Danny Wimmer festivals?
I was actually just thinking about that. I think it was like 2.5 years ago. It feels like way longer, though. It's crazy that it was only, and I mean that in a good way. I've been having a blast the past 2.5 years. But, yeah, time just like flies by. It was 2.5 years ago, and it's just really cool that we get to play all these festivals now and getting more tours and more opportunities, like inside, like real deal stuff.
And you're on all these Danny Wimmer festivals now, all because
those are a
you
blast.
crashed a party.
For sure.
Yeah, that was really cool. I still have the visual in my head of that. And there were geese there, too.
Yes.
Okay, so it's like, wow, this
They
is
seem to follow us around.
That should be your, like, fan base.
Yeah.
Okay, like.
We need to call them the flock.
There it is.
I've thought of that before, but I haven't wanted to vocalize it because I've been like, man, hopefully like they'll just start saying that without me saying anything. But from this moment, I'm manifesting it. That's what they're called.
There it is. And so you got a tour going on. Tell us about that.
Yeah, right now we're on tour. We're supporting a band called Unity, Texas. I grew up listening to them in high school and stuff. They're not too much older than us, but they've been around a little bit longer. And it's just really cool. It's really trippy because I've gotten to play with like some of my favorite artists in the past 2 years.
Yeah.
And I got to play with Highly Suspect. I got to play with Dead Poets Society, like artists who I'm obsessed with, and this is another one. Like, Unity is a band that I grew up listening to in high school, like in between classes, walking down the hall. Now I'm friends with them, so that's really cool. We've got a full U.S. run with them. We're about halfway through it right now. We've got some more dates in Texas and the Southeast, and then in January we have our headline run. It's called the Bad Behavior Tour.
Nice. What kind of bad behavior are you going to get yourself into now?
I don't know. We'll see what happens. The meaning behind the EP is just kind of like, it felt fitting, like, given how we started as a band and became known. It's like, yeah, we're still out here causing chaos.
It was so funny. At Ladder in Life, one of the nights I walked out, and I heard this band. I'm like, oh, Silly Goose must be performing in the parking lot again. And it wasn't Silly Goose.
Oh, there was another one?
Yeah, they were doing it out of a U-Haul.
Oh, yes. I think I heard about this.
Yes. I was like, wow, are they copying Silly Goose?
Yeah, I think we've started a movement, maybe.
I think so. You could do, like, forget Warped Tour 2025. Let's do the Crashing the Festival tour.
Right.
You could just, like, get a bunch of bands together, do a tour of crashing festivals.
Yeah.
So you've achieved a lot of goals in the past couple years that probably you didn't even know would come that quickly. What does it feel like for that, and what are you aspiring to now?
It feels really good. It's funny because I'm learning. I'm having a lot of fun, and everything's really cool, but it's always like, you always hear like rock artists say, or artists say, like, it's not what you think it's going to be, and there's definitely like, we get our few seconds of fame on stage, and then behind it, especially with the phase we're at, like, we do everything ourselves. Like, it's a lot of work. I'm here for it, like, because this is what I feel like my calling is in life, and what I'm really good at. But yeah, it's a lot of work.
So what was it that made it your calling, in your opinion?
I don't know. I feel like when I first got into music, I played the drums as like a little kid, and I played in like some local bands in high school and stuff. I always kind of wanted to be a front man, but I didn't know like if I really could do it. And then I just kind of forced myself to, and I realized like there's a lot of, not to be down on myself, but I feel like there's a lot of things in life I'm not the best at, and it feels really good. Like, this is the one thing I'm really good at, and
Nice.
and I can do. And so it's also like, if I didn't do this, I don't know what else I would do with my life, because this is it. There's no plan B.
You know what? Listen, I believe in that anyway, because if you have a plan B, if you have something to fall back on, you usually do. If you have nothing to fall back on, all you can do is go forward.
For sure.
And that's what you've been doing.
Thank you.
And I think you're going to keep doing it, because to me, you're like, I said this the first time I talked to you, like old school, you know, just total grassroots DIY, and like you're doing it.
Thank you so much.
How do you feel you as an artist, as the front person, have changed compared to when you first did it and you were kind of inhibited about it?
You said how has it changed since when like we first got noticed like 2.5 years ago?
No, for you as a front person, when you decide I want to be a front person, at first you weren't really confident, like you're just saying. How has it changed now?
Oh, it's definitely sorry, I misunderstood.
That's all right.
It's definitely has changed, because when I first started like being a front man, like in high school and stuff, like five years ago or something, definitely played to a lot of empty rooms, didn't have a lot of confidence, Sometimes you learn like what not to say on stage or how to carry yourself. So I've definitely made a fool of myself a few times, and I've learned like what works and what doesn't. And I'm sure I'll make a fool of myself some more.
Of course,
life's a learning experience, but kind of just like learning to have more confidence.
And what made you to decide to do like these grassroots tours that you've started to do? Because not many bands did it. And then you started, and now there's other people following in your steps.
I'd say like it just goes back to like people not knowing like who we were or who we are. And I don't want to be like a band that just does stuff on TikTok or on Instagram, because those bands, like what they do, they have viral videos, and we have that too. And I like having viral videos, but they have those videos and then they don't like, they go on tour and nobody shows up, so it doesn't necessarily mean anything. Yeah. And I'm all about like, I wanted us to do shit out in the street and like have like a real human connection and go to where the fans are. So it was just not getting noticed and wanting to be noticed in a new type of way is what fueled it.
And you did a good job of it, because you do have like a cultish following because of
Thank
that,
you.
which is old school too. And here you are at Aftershock.
Thank you.
Is there any final things you want to let the listeners know that they don't know already and we haven't covered?
Yeah, well, once again, I want to thank you for taking the time. And yeah, we're on tour right now with Unity, got a few more dates. We've got our headline tour called the Bad Behavior Tour in January. Tickets to both those tours are available at SillyGooseRapRock.com. And to anyone who wants to keep up with us, the best place is our Instagram, Silly Goose ATL. And most importantly, go check out the new EP. It's called Bad Behavior.
Absolutely, and it is badass. So
thank you.
Thanks for being here at Aftershock, or thanks for being on the Adventures of Pipeman.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for listening to the Adventures of Pipeman on W4CY Radio.